Hi there, I'm Amber with Kaleidoscope Yoga. Thank you so much for your interest in my video today. Hey, if you'd like to follow along when we do the classes live, just like my Kaleidoscope Yoga page on Facebook or follow me on Instagram at Amber Kleid Yoga for dates and times. In the meantime, grab yourself your mat, a couple of blocks, maybe a blanket and a towel, and perhaps a bolster or a thicker pillow to rest on in Shavasana, and I will meet you on the mat. I think we're going to start standing up today, if you all are up for that. So, come and find your mountain pose. And remember when we find our mountain pose, so we want our feet to be hip distance apart. And some of us, me included, I like to find my superhero stance if I'm not paying attention. But your hip points, bony little points right here, and your feet are going to be directly below those points. So connect the soles of the feet to your mat. Maybe you want to spread the toes nice and wide, and then dropping pinky toe all the way down until you get to the big toe. And if you can't spread your toes, do not worry. When I started yoga, it was like my foot was like a 2x4. Like I couldn't spread my toes at all. And now it feels so good to be able to do it. So if you can't do it, no worries. The more you practice, the easier and the better it'll feel. Relaxing in your knees, finding some gentle buoyancy here, and then just very small movements, rolling into the toes and then rocking back into the heel. Because of course you don't want to knock yourself off balance, but I just want you to have an opportunity to kind of sense that connection, that grounding connection from the soles of the feet to the floor. Relaxing the shoulders back. And releasing any tension you might be holding in your glutes or in your quads. Palms of the hands traditionally are forward, but if that doesn't feel super comfortable, you can just let your hands dangle at your side. That's perfectly all right. And then we've got our head over our heart. Our chin is parallel to the floor. Relaxing the shoulders down, maybe a little movement in the neck as you settle in. And then when and if you get comfortable, you can close your eyes, or you can keep your gaze towards the floor, and you don't have to see me at this moment. So just go ahead and relax and just really feel yourself settling in. Feel the weight of your body resting on the soles of your feet. This awesome foundation that holds us up all the time, everywhere we go. These strong legs, strong spine, all connected, and all this beautiful integral system that keeps us upright. And then begin to soften the gaze. And by gaze, I mean you don't have to have your eyes open, but just you can peer at the back of the eyelids and just start to soften around the space between the eyes. Allow the eyes to just kind of drift back and relax in the sockets. And releasing any tension around the eyes. So any extra kind of hugging the eyelashes or eyelids together, release that. even if you have to like lift the eyebrows up for a moment, kind of stretch that space out some. And then relax. Let the cheekbones relax. Let your mouth come into a restful position. Maybe the lips part, or maybe you keep them together, but allow the teeth to separate just a little. And then relax the tongue. Almost as if gravity is just pulling you down. But in a good way, of course. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths, just settling in. I think that's Leah that just joined us. Thank you, Leah. It's nice to see you. And just slowly, body part by body part, we start to kind of dissolve into this, just the sensation of allowing our bones to be stacked and to support us. The muscles relax. Taking a few more moments just to connect to the breath. And maybe you can notice how it feels to you. Maybe the breath feels a little shallow, and perhaps you can deepen the inhale just a little bit longer and really give permission for your belly to kind of get wide when you breathe. Fill it up as much as you can. And relax and release, pulling the belly button towards the spine. So yoga means to yoke, to bring together the body and the breath and the mind, and there is no easier way to do this than finding stillness and just breathing and finding that gentle connection from when you start to breathe in and the body reacts. And then the body helps the breath release. Take 2 more deep breaths. Big inhale. And exhale, sigh it out if you want. Let's do that again. Big inhale. Sigh it out again. And then you can keep your eyes closed, but draw the palms to Anjali Mudra. So palms together, fingers at your chest, thumbs at the chest, fingertips pointing towards your chin. And set an intention if it calls to you, a sankalpa, and let it be kind and nurturing. And of course, I always stress, don't let it be something that's out of reach, something that you're going to beat yourself up over later. It can be something as simple as, I want to connect to my breath more. I want to feel my foundation more. I just want to be here now. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves to do that every couple of minutes. Pause here with your intention. And then with a slight bend in the knees, taking a big inhale, bring those fingertips to the sky. Palms are still together. So if this does not feel good on your shoulders, you can widen the shoulders. You don't have to hold the palms together. Take a deep inhale and exhale, tilt to your right. Engage in the belly, draw yourself back to center, and exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Let's do that again. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Come back to center. And we're going to find a baby back bend here. So you're going to press into the soles of the feet and you're going to lift up through the front of the body and find a gentle back bend here. You're going to keep that tailbone tucked and engage the belly to protect the low back. Big inhale, drawing from the soles of the feet. And then exhale, we're going to float it down into a forward fold. So if you're in your forward fold and your back feels a little stressed out or your hamstrings are super tight, grab some blocks or a book or something that's going to bring the floor a little bit closer to you and find this more of a flat back position. You'll still get a nice stretch through the hamstrings and through the low back, but it won't feel as stressed. Relaxing the neck down. And just find a couple of breaths here. And then on your next inhale, press into the feet, rock into the heels, and start to engage yourself coming back up. Fingertips to the sky again. And we're going to exhale, hands by your side. Good. Inhale, hands up. We're going to do this a few times. Exhale, forward fold. Take a full breath here. And on the next inhale, make your way back up. Being sure to engage the legs and the low belly too, because we want to protect that back. Stretch it up as far as you can, feeling some space on the side, and exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale, float it down. Forward fold. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the head. We're going to take our left hand and move it so it's underneath our nose. So right in the center, in between our big toes. Take an inhale, right hand to the sky. Now if you want a pretty deep stretch on your right side, you can bend your left knee and straighten out that right leg and kind of jut that right hip out. We want to relax the shoulder on the right. Gaze up at the fingertips if it feels good on your neck. Big breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to float that right hand down and switch it up. Inhaling, left hand to the sky. Inhaling, and your next exhale, you're going to float it down. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. And exhale, bring it on down. Finding your forward fold again. And this time, we're really going to plant in the soles of the feet. And you're going to rotate your thighs in. I don't know if you can see that in my legs, what I'm doing, but you can rotate them in, and what's going to happen is your sits bones are going to kind of shift out. And you're also going to feel a little bit more pressure in the big toe and the inner part of the foot. And then once you feel that, it should feel pretty good, especially if those hamstrings are tight. You can rotate the shins out, and that is going to help press your pinky toe down to the floor a little bit more. And so we're very active in our legs. Take one more breath here, and then we're going to roll it up again. Big breath, hands to the ceiling. And let's clasp left wrist with right hand. We're going to drop our weight into our left leg, and we're going to find a deeper stretch this way. Exhale. Engage the belly and start to come back up. Let's switch our grip. Left hand on right wrist. Drop the weight into the right hand and exhale to your left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands down. We're going to take a little bit wider stance here. And we're going to bring our arms out so we're like a big starfish. Toes are going to be about a 45-degree angle. Let's take an inhale, hands to the sky. And we're going to exhale, twisting to the right. Just a little twist. We don't want to compromise our knee. Inhale, back to center, using the core, not the arms, to propel yourself. Exhale to the left. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open to the right. We're just kind of warming stuff up here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left. Inhale, both hands back up to the sky. Let's clasp our hands and turn the palms out. Relaxing through the tailbone. We're going to twist just a little bit to our right. So maybe we're facing towards our toes. And we're going to exhale and stretch the arms forward. We're really working into the side today. Hold here parallel to the floor, pressing into that back foot so we're not dumping into that right leg. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to go all the way down. Float it down. Let those arms stay stretched so you get a nice stretch through the upper shoulders, and come rotate all the way to the other side so we're parallel. You got it. Relax those shoulders. Full breath here. And your next inhale, engage the belly. Draw yourself up. Exhale, release the hands. Rotate the wrists. We're going to do that to the opposite side. So big breath up. Clasp the palms again. Turn the palms out. Relax the breath. Take an inhale as you twist to your left. And exhale forward. And again, we're going to pause for a few moments. So find that space where you feel a good twist. Engage the belly, press into the feet. And then on an exhale, you're going to float all the way down slowly between the feet and all the way back up to the other side. One thing I really love about this kind of movement is you can feel the muscles shift as you change the direction of the body. I don't know if that's weird or not, but it's just something I really enjoy. On your next inhale, bring it up. And exhale, release the hands, rotate the wrists, let those shoulders go. Good. Let's take a couple of shoulder rolls here. So big inhale, drawing the shoulders up, and exhale back. Inhale, shoulders forward and up, exhale back. One more in this direction, and exhale, release. And let's go ahead and go the opposite way. Awesome. Bring the feet in just a little bit. Little bend in the knees. And we're going to do a little, what they call knock it on heaven's door. And nice and slow. We're not going to get crazy and try to propel ourselves off of our mats, but just enough that we're really trying to wake up our back. Find some movement in the spine. Find movement in the arms to warm up the shoulders. A little buoyancy in the knees. Don't keep the knees locked when you do this. And you can tap yourself a little bit, little love tap if you want. Kind of stir up some energy. You can do it in the arms. So a little interesting fact that I learned, there is a point on the back of your shoulder that if you have digestion problems, if you pat that point, probably not a good idea to do it right now, but if you pat that point, apparently it helps with digestion. I love the body. It's such a weird and mysterious, strange thing. All right, so start to slow it down. And relax, maybe give it another little shake. And then please meet me at the front of the mat. And then bring your blocks if you have them. All right, find your mountain pose once again. Little bend in the knees. Let's take a big inhale, fingertips to the sky. Float it down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Whatever flat back you like to use, fingertips can be to the ground, calves, even the thighs. And then as you exhale, float it down. Again, inhale, flat back. Exhale, float it down. One more time, inhale, find that flat back, lengthen from the crown of the head all the way to those sits bones, relaxing the shoulders, and release the hands. Bending the knees, bringing the hands down to the floor. Let's go ahead and release our right foot back. We're going to drop our right knee first here. Connect the soles of the feet. Make sure you've got your front knee above the ankle. And most of your pressure's in your heel. Grab those blocks if you want to use them. And find a little bit of length here. So you can let the pelvis drop down to the floor. You can drop your, pull your back knee back quite a bit if you want a deeper stretch through your hip flexors. And then draw that gaze forward, tall. Take a couple of breaths here. One more deep breath as you settle in. And then on your next inhale, hands come up. We find our crescent lunge, relaxing the shoulders back. Maybe the gaze follows the fingertips for a moment. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to drop right hand down, left hand to the sky, find a revolved twist. Engage the belly, press into the sole of the front foot and the top of the back foot. Draw the right hand up. Bring those palms together and move back into your twist, but we find our prayer twist here. Palms of the hands together. Elbow towards the sky, and you're kind of pulling the legs towards the midline, so kind of pulling them this way. We want them to be nice and active. And then on your next inhale, fingertips to the sky, draw yourself forward, hands down to the mat. Let's lift that back knee up. And take that back foot at about a 45-degree angle and bring yourself up into your warrior one. And remember, technically in warrior one, our hips are straight across. Sometimes that might not feel good, especially if your knee feels tweaked. So just let your back hip kind of relax back if that's the case. And just bring the chest forward. Fingertips to the sky. Relax the shoulders, engage the belly, drop the tailbone down just a little. And then from our warrior one, we're going to float to our warrior two. So take a nice deep inhale and open up the arms. Back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. Front knee is above our ankle, and make sure that it's pointing towards second and third toes. Take an inhale, find your peaceful warrior. Left hand to the sky. And exhale, side angle bend. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Side angle bend on the exhale. Hand can come to the floor if you choose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Last time, you can choose either of those two options or draw the right hand up and find this line of connection from the fingertips all the way to your right foot. For 3, 2, and 1, straighten out that front leg. Bring the hands above the head. Exhale into Trikonasana or triangle. Remember to keep the fingertips above the shoulder. Gaze can follow the fingertips if it feels good. And then take an inhale, engage that belly, drawing the hands back up. And we're going to bring the chest forward, turn that back heel up towards the ceiling and come back into a high lunge. Woo. Big inhale here, relaxing those shoulders. As you exhale, float it down. Go ahead and bring that left foot back to meet the right, and we're just going to find plank. Remember, you can always drop to your knees here in plank. We just want to make sure that our booty isn't up as if downward facing dog. That puts a lot of pressure in the low back. Lengthen from the crown of the head to the heels, hugging in through the midline for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and drop down to the knees. We're going to let the knees separate a little bit, bring the big toes together, drop the hips back, and find your child's pose. Let the breath kind of find the rib cage in the back body. And when you breathe in, see if you can feel the shoulders separate. Feel a little doming action happening in the upper back. And perhaps rocking the forehead from side to side might feel good. And then when you're ready on an inhale, begin to stretch the fingertips out. And draw yourself into tabletop position. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that right foot forward. Grab those blocks if you use them. And find this low lunge position. Again, you're welcome to drop that back knee back quite a bit so you can get a deeper stretch in those hip flexors. But of course, coming into more of a 90-degree angle is always fine as well. Keeping that knee above the ankle. Go ahead and find that length in the front body. Gazes forward, shoulders are relaxed. And just find your breath. Take 2 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, hands come to the sky. As you exhale, left hand to the ground, right hand up. Revolve, twist. Pressing into the shin and the top of the back foot, connecting to the sole of the front foot. Engage the belly and up you go. Hands to the sky. Bring those palms together and exhale into your prayer twist. And you know, if prayer twist feels a little difficult, maybe the balance isn't feeling right on today, you can always just do a gentle twist. Just a side twist. You don't have to drop the elbow. And then when you're ready, engage the belly, draw the hands up. And exhale the hands down. Turn the toes under, lift up that back knee. Sole of the foot to the ground, 45-degree angle, and we're going to find our warrior one. So bending through that front leg, and make sure that you're connecting to the what we call the knife edge of the foot, the outer edge. And then once you find that, then press into the big toe. We don't want to lose the connection with our anchor behind us. And then taking a deep inhale, lifting the hands a little bit higher, and exhale, float into your warrior two. Relax those shoulders back, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Remember, we're keeping that knee above the ankle, and it's aiming towards your second and third toe. And I just say that because sometimes I see people dropping their knee in and dropping their knee out. And until you find that body awareness, and believe me, it's not always there, sometimes it's just nice to check. So when you're ready, inhale, peaceful warrior, right hand to the sky. Exhale, float it down, side angle bend. Inhale, peaceful warrior. As you exhale, side angle bend, right hand can come to the floor if you choose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. This time, as you exhale, you can sweep that left hand up to meet the right and find this awesome lengthening stretch on the left side of the body. And then as you inhale next, press into that right foot, draw your body straight, straighten out that front leg, and exhale into Trikonasana or triangle shape. So in this shape, we want to make sure that our chest is open wide. Maybe you can even take your lower rib cage and kind of scoot them forward a little bit. Sometimes it helps to have a block to balance on, or just resting on your shin is good. If you find yourself leaning forward like this, you definitely need a block, especially if your hand's all the way down on the floor. All right, engage that belly. Press into the right foot. Draw yourself all the way up. You got it. Bring the feet so they're parallel to one another. And we're going to bring the hands down to our hips. Perfect. Relaxing the shoulders, we're going to do a wide angled forward fold. So let's bring the toes straight forward to begin. Relaxing in the knees. And we're going to hinge forward at our hips. So when you're ready, let's take a nice deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we shift those hips back and lengthen the spine from the crown of the head all the way to the hips. And then we hover. And breathe. Let's go ahead and take the toes out just a little bit, 45-degree angle, and then relax it down. And you may like to use your block here too. Some people can come all the way down with their heads down on the floor. I am not one of those people. I don't really have that desire, so I just kind of go as far as it feels really, really nice in my body. And I invite you to do the same. And if it feels good to bring the head all the way down, then by all means, try it. Protect your knees. If you feel any tension in the knees, give them a little bend. And then let's walk our hands over to the right. So we engage the right leg just a little bit more. And I'm going to give you an option here. So you can stay exactly here. If you'd like, you can take your left hand, place it on the outside of your right calf, and we can find another twist. Right hand to the sky, or you can rest it on your low back. And just draw that right shoulder up. Take one more big breath here. And then as you exhale, you're going to float that hand down. And let's come on back to center. So we're going to pause here for just a moment. And I'd like you to walk your hands out a little bit. So we're kind of in a kind of sort of a downward facing dog. But the legs obviously are in a different position. So let's take a nice deep inhale and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, float it down. Inhale, stretch it out, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, float it down. One more time, big extension through the spine. And exhale, float it down. And then walk it over to your left. And again, you've got the option to stay here, or you can take that left hand, or sorry, right hand, wrap it around the left, and find that twist. On an exhale, you're going to float it back down. You're going to heel toe those feet together. And you're going to sink your booty down just a little bit. Really press into the soles of the feet, but especially the heel. So a little bit of our weight is going to shift. You're going to take an inhale and you're going to come into your chair. Relaxing the tailbone. Remember, we're not twerking, so we're not sticking the butt out, but we're relaxing it to protect that lower spine. Hands can be out in front. They can reach up nice and high. We're going to hold, relaxing the shoulders for 3, 2, on an inhale, 1, up we go. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, draw it up. Exhale, bring it down. I'm going to do, let's come up, bring it back up. I'm going to do a little balancing challenge for you here. Exhale, bring it down. As we inhale, drop into, as we inhale, drop into the right foot, lift it up. Exhale, place both feet down. Left foot to the ground, inhale, right leg up, and exhale down. You guys got it. Inhale, just keep it going, opposite. Exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more each side. Inhale, draw it up. Exhale down. Last time, I know you got it. Bring it up. And exhale. Forward fold. Woo! Go ahead and shift those hips from side to side. And then go ahead and draw the knees down to the floor. And come into a seated position so that your left shin is facing the camera. And then your right leg is kind of bent, right foot is behind you. You might like a block or two in this shape. This is called deer pose. And we're just going to twist to the left. So bring the hands to the left, place them on the ground. And so we just kind of want to get ourselves set up for this right now. So pressing into the palms, lifting up through the arms, lengthening through the spine. And then if you'd like, you can go ahead and lay down. Now the blocks are there because if you're super tight, you might want to just rest on top of the block. But if you have it in your practice, you can come all the way down. And so while you're in this shape, maybe just kind of take a quick body scan. Notice if you're holding any tension in the hips or the legs, even the shoulders. So when we do restorative, when I teach at Waynesville Yoga Center, sometimes I like to do this shape, but we have a bolster that we lay on, which is really nice and comfortable. But we usually hang out for about 10 minutes, and we're not going to do that today. Just finding your breath. And then when you're ready on an inhale, you're going to draw the palms to the floor, draw yourself up. And we're just going to walk our hands around to the front. So we're facing over our shin. And same thing, we're just going to lean forward. But I would love for you to just rest the palms down for a moment first and kind of stack the bones in the arms and lengthen through the spine. And just see how that feels first. This is going to stretch out in the left hip. If you're already stretched out in the left hip, this just might feel nice and relaxing. But for those of us that have super tight hips and hamstrings, it definitely gets in there. So again, use a block if you want to. You don't have to. Another key element, if your knee feels like it's bothering you, remember to spread your toes and draw that pinky toe down towards the ground to activate through the shin muscle and take the pressure away from the knee. And then allow yourself again to find some stillness, do a quick body scan to make sure that you're not holding in any other parts of the body. I keep noticing that my right thigh wants to tense up, so I have to kind of keep checking in on that, making sure that it is staying soft. Just a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly on an inhale, palms to the floor, drawing yourself back up. Let's stretch out the legs for a moment. Point and flex those toes. Let's move those fleshy parts, the favorite parts. Take a big inhale, fingertips to the sky, and we're going to exhale into our staff pose. So reaching towards our toes, of course you don't have to touch your toes. You can always rest on your calves. But the idea in this shape is to not let the back just kind of collapse. We want to kind of hinge forward at the hips and maintain a somewhat straight back. And our neck is an extension of the spine. And if you're ever doing this particular shape at home by yourself, you can put a blanket underneath the knees if your hamstrings are super tight or the knees just need a little bit of extra protection. And then engaging the belly, you're just going to draw yourself back up. Place the hands behind you for a moment. And we're going to take a nice deep inhale and draw the chest up. And those sits bones are going to shift forward just a little bit. Big breath in, let the collarbone widen. And then exhale. So let's switch to the other side. So right foot or right shin is going to be facing towards the camera, and your foot is behind you, left foot behind you. Grab your blocks if you want them, switch them over to the right. And we're going to first place our palms on the floor. And straighten up through the arms and lengthen through the spine, and just to kind of get a feel of how this shape might work for you, this twist. And then you can either stay here or move it on down. Relaxing the head and the neck, it's very important. Your shoulders should feel relaxed as well. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And if you find any spaces that are a little troubling, they don't feel quite so good, then send those deep breaths to that space. See if you can open it up a little. And then when you're ready, bring those palms to the block or the floor, draw yourself up, and we're just going to wander around to the front. Set the palms on the ground, lengthen through the arms, spreading the toes if you need to. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then if you want to bring yourself down at any time, go ahead. And doing that scan, checking to make sure that you're not tightening up in any spaces. And if it just won't loosen, send that breath there. Take 2 more good deep breaths here. Palms to the floor or your block, draw yourself up. Let's bring the feet forward one last time. Move those little fleshy parts. Take an inhale, drawing the hands to the sky, and last one, let's forward or move forward in your Dandasana. Soft, easy breath. Engage the belly on an inhale, coming back, and go ahead and roll all the way down to the floor. Let's go ahead and lift the legs up. We're going to draw the hands up as well. So this is dead bug pose. We're broadening through the shoulders, really relaxing through the low back. And then we're going to find just a tiny bit of core work before we relax. So taking an inhale, you're going to engage the belly and you're going to lift the fingertips towards your toes and exhale. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, release. Let's do 2 more. Big breath up. Exhale, down. And 1 more up. And exhale, knees to chest. Go ahead and find a gentle rock from side to side. My neighbor's dogs are going crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. We have so many rabbits in our neighborhood. Big ones too, huge rabbits. It's like Watership Down up in here. And then when you are ready, my friends, extend the legs out long. If you want to take a big, solid, full-bodied stretch before you completely relax, please do. So you can put your bolster underneath your knees, a blanket under the head. Maybe you want to cover up a little bit if you're feeling chilly. And just take these next few moments, really and truly, just to be here for yourself. If you want, you can place a hand on heart, hand on belly, and find that connection that we looked for at the beginning of class. Maybe come back to your intention for a moment, and then come back to your breath. And just rest still until you hear the chimes and I call you back. Begin to slowly deepen your breath. Find some gentle movement in your fingers and your toes. Rock the head gently from side to side. Roll to one side and indulge in a breath or two as you relax in a fetal position. And then make your way into a seated position, whatever feels comfortable to you. Let your hands find heart space in Anjali Mudra. Always in gratitude for our practice. Together and separate, I appreciate you so much for your support. And I'm glad that I can be here for you to find a little bit of movement as we stay home and stay safe, at least for a little while longer. All my blessings. Namaste.